Blessed love to one and all. This is an edited version of Good Hair, Bad Hair. This is a video that I produced a few days ago, but for one reason or the other, it cannot be aired in the United States of America because of the Chris Rock documentary that I made a part of. So I've edited all of the documentary of Chris Rock and I've left my part. Please full joy.
Blessed love. Salam to one and all. Baruch. Alafia Hotel. Shalom. Give thanks. To the life given, the keeper of life, Kadama, our Highness Selassie first. We glorify Father and Mother of creation, of which all things came forth from. Glorify Holy Melchizedek, the Black Christ in flesh. Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, Marcus Messiah Garvey, to be exalted, the very said Black General with us, the Olmec. It is an honor. I welcome you into the nest. Of course, this is the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. And of course, we are giving you an update on the essay competition as we have now entered into the realms of Black History Month. And in a moment, I will be giving you that update, but let me also say for the listeners, radioanu.com, of course, for the past 7 days, because of our travel, and we just returned from the Bahamas. We have not been doing the Mystic Vibration live and direct, but of course you can definitely be assured that we are now returning to the Mystic Vibration every Monday to Thursday from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. As I said, in a moment we will be giving you an update on exactly what is taking place as it relates to the essay competition. But now I want to get into good hair, bad hair, and the dangers of the perm. Now, it is not a joke subject, and I will say before we even go too deep, ones may even be offended because of what will, come out. Now, basically what I'm going to do, we all know of the documentary, I'm sure you've seen it, that Brother Chris Rock did on the whole aspect of hair. So I'm going to take 2 clips from that documentary and basically elaborate on them, that's all. And I'm going to look at the whole aspect of this on a physical level and a psychological level. So basically, I'm not even going to waste any time now. We're going to go straight to the first clip from the documentary that Brother Chris Rock did as it relates to hair. So here we go. Sounds quite interesting. And I will begin by saying, since the whole subject is the hair, H-A-I-R, hair, I think that as Rastafari, we are unique because everyone would know that the hair is very integral when it comes to the liberty of Rastafari. Some may say the fate of Rastafari. Some may go as far as to say the religion of Rastafari, but whatever the case is, the hair. Now, mystically, the hair has a lot to do with how you hear. Now, I don't necessarily mean how you hear through your ear. How mystic the word ear, E-A-R, ear, is just, is here, like H-E-A-R, here, without the H, here, and you hear with your ear. But I'm showing you that even within your ear canal, you got some strands of hair that pick up the frequency that allows you to hear. But the H-A-I-R hair that goes up into the A-I-R ear, which is again here, H-A-I-R here, without the H, A-I-R, air. Here, air, here, air. So it is your hair that allows you to connect to the frequency. Your hair is your antenna. That it is why it is in this spiral formation, because the best of the antenna are in the spiral formation. And the insect and the feline, they have the connection, the antenna, the whiskers, the whatever else they have possess. Now, as I said, in the spiral form. And obviously, if I say in the spiral form, I'm speaking specifically of one type of people. Now, I know we have many different philosophy now. We say that race never existed, it just came in a few hundred years ago. I could agree, because I understand what you're saying for sure. There's a philosophy that brought race into the picture. And it is so-called white supremacy. Racism, it is a philosophy, and it never really existed until a few hundred years ago. I could totally agree with that. But let's not use that to pretend as if they're not different groups of humanity amongst us. Because when I speak of the antenna and the ninth ether here, and the lock of the hair and the curl of the hair, I'm only speaking of one people. I'm speaking of the melanated people with that specific type of hair, which anthropology refers to as the Ethiopian, the Black Mandan, and the African, and the other names that apply to people like myself. And being the original specimen of a human being, it is obvious that the original created man was created with that unique hair, that unique type of lock. There are those amongst us in the conscious realms who teach that the original black man was created with straight hair. I totally disagree. One, not to disrespect their theology, but I've never seen proof of that outside of the speakers speaking of that, and that is it. But we can prove that the original man is the man with the nappy hair, the curly hair, the hair that lock the supreme antenna. So when it comes down to even the created human being, no ape man, no caveman, the original man. This is why Rastafari represents the original man, the man that was there before they invented the code. I heard one of our esteemed scholars made a remark similar to such, referring to one of the beautiful glyphs on the Kemetic wall, and he said that he believed that we rolled the locks. Perhaps we didn't invent the comb as yet. Perhaps so. But the point is that the original man was the locks man. Now, of course, 30 or even 20 years ago, that was a disgusting statement. But everybody is going to the saloon today and locksing up, portraying the locks that the Rastafari died and bled for. We were ostracized. You couldn't even go into the church with your hair plait. And now even the preacher is sporting his locks with his earring in his ear and everything. And how times have changed. Give thanks that we have lived to see the change. And more change is there to come. So the point I'm making now, my brothers and sisters, is that obviously there is supreme importance in not just the hair, but the hair of the black man and the black woman. There is supreme importance in the spiritual connection. Some scientists say that your hair should at least be 3 inches, from the root, to have that, supreme connection, not just with the sun, but with the ether. I can't give you that as, I've heard of it, but the dreadlocks, as I'm showing you, is a different realm. You can read it all in your scripture. Huh? They say Samson had 7 locks. They try to tell you that the lock is like the lock of a hair, like a strand of a hair. Come on, give me a break. What do you want to tell me? Samson had 7 strands of hair? Come on, Samson had 7 locks. Huh? Samuel, these Sam people, Samson and Samuel. Samuel was another dreadlock booty man. Congo bongo, Samuel. Never shaved his hair from the day born. John the Baptizer. He wasn't a Baptist. Don't try to, he's not a Baptist. First Baptist and second Baptist and evangelist. He's a baptizer. John the Baptizer. Another dreadlock from the day he was born. When they were looking for Elijah. And they came to the king Ahab and said, man, we met this man, and the man saying he gonna do this and that. He said, was he a hairy man? He said, yes, he was a hairy man. That's Elijah. So the original man, he can go on and on. Even Moses, Aaron, whose beard went down to the skirts of his garment, according to the 133rd Psalms. So the ancient original man, the dreadlock man, the Buddha, always seen with the dreadlocks, the Buddha. And the same thing can be said again of the ancient Kemetic kings with the dreadlocks down to the Heru with the locks. So the locks ain't nothing to scorn. Don't tell me nothing. You were scorning it a few decades ago. You were scorning it a few decades ago. You were scorning it. Don't play with me. I know exactly what's going on. Listen, I said you were scorning it. Just accept it a few decades ago. We have paid the price, brother. We have paid the price. As Rastafari. Shall Rasta bear the cross and everything and everyone go free. I wouldn't call you no heathen. And everyone go free. Now everything is medical marijuana. That's another scorn again a few decades ago. You scorned that. Now everything is go green now. We were not just ostracized. We were murdered and killed. You know what I mean? For this. So what has happened now is that the ancient science again, without going too deep, when it comes to it is obvious what the brother just showed you here, Brother Chris Rock. The dangers, obviously, number one, let's just deal with the dangers of the chemical. As the people in the chemical plant were saying, hey, you can't even let that get into your eye. You can't eat. I remember once in St. Martin, I walked into one of these saloons by mistake. I think they were doing nail polish and all of that in there too. And when I walked in, it was if I went into a room where they were spraying cars. The level of fumes that went up into my nostrils, I said, wow. And these ladies are just in there working. And I know they're working around the clock, and sometime I mean around the clock. Because the friend came in and, oh, I gotta get this due for the wedding is tomorrow morning. Yeah. So the chemicals alone is a killer. Kiddie perm. Just meditate on that. Kiddie perm. Giving a perm. Permanently damaging your hair. Because obviously when you straighten out this antenna, what you're doing, you're destroying it. You're changing the whole molecular structure of the strand. Yeah? Permanently damaging yourself. The perm, the relaxer. So now you're relaxing it. Yeah? Everything is just relaxed, you know. No more battlefield vibration. No more connecting with the ancestors through the ether. Everything is just relaxed. So your enemy understands the science. Come on. You think this is a joke? How long we've been doing this? Just a few decades ago, it was the hot iron, the comb stuff that they used to have there, the hot iron comb, just not too long ago. And it is getting more detrimental as the time goes on. Where did this come from? Where did this begin? Why? You see the psychology of it, and that is what we will touch upon too. The psychology of it is deadly. You give the young black girl the black doll and the white doll, and you tell her to pick one. She would pick the white doll. That experiment has been done for ages, up to today, and it is still going strong. So even from a child, no disrespect to Chris Rock and his documentary, but even some of the people there that are speaking against the perm of the hair, it goes beyond just the dangers of the chemical. This is a psychological effect here, where the black woman wants to be like the oppressor, the female version. And the black man, you're just as bad, because you want the oppressor's woman. That's exactly what it is. And I'm speaking from the depths of the days of our quote-unquote oppression. In the days of slavery I'm speaking of, because it stemmed from there. The emancipation and the so-called abolition of slavery and all of that stuff, that's not too long ago. That's not centuries ago. Just around the corner, it was 100 years ago. This is modern day history we're talking about. This is what I'm trying to show you. So for some reason, the black woman found it necessary to straighten her hair. Listen to me. For some reason, whatever the reason is, the black woman found it necessary, I'm not lying on anybody, to straighten her hair, to get the kink, to even if she have to put fire in her head, to get the kink out, to get the knot out, so it could look like her firstborn child, the Indian. Oh yeah, if you're Indian, please don't be offended. I can give you the archaeological, the anthropological, historical fact. The people of Hoodoo, the place you call India today, who came out of the Hindu Kush mountains, approximately 18,000 years BCE, which is basically 18,000 years ago. From the coming straight off of the filtration of the original man, the same Grimaldi man, the same Kenjira man, Broken Hill man, which is I and I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. So what I'm saying here now, for whatever reason, she decided that she needed to paint her lips red. I'm sorry. I'm not judging anyone, you know. I'm just telling you the facts. Because we don't come with red lips. I know somebody's going to jump in. Well, listen, brother. In ancient Africa, we had different tribes and we painted our face and I know that. Trust me, that ain't what I'm talking about. That's something else. We didn't red our lips up because of no African tribe. Our slave masters, female, had natural red lips and that's their stuff. And we put on blush now, blush. We call it blush. We don't blush. Our skin is black. But yet still we would brown our face up with this brown stuff. And then we put on the blush and make our face pink. You're going to tell me that we're not still picking the white doll? We're dolling up. And we shave off our eyebrows, shave it off, and then do something else and draw it, line it up and twist it about. And add on eyelashes and do all sorts of stuff to ourselves. Do we hate ourselves so much that we have to hide our true beauty behind a mask of prettiness, dolling up ourselves? I am saying with all sincerity that this stems from self-hatred. No one need to be offended. I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feeling. It is no one's fault that this has happened. It is your fault if you keep yourself in that state. You see, like you're hearing this now, oh, you better forget the fault stuff now. Because we've never been taught to love ourselves. We've never been taught to appreciate who we really are. As I always say, the caterpillar and the worm. Because to the untrained eye, the caterpillar looks like a worm, and vice versa. But they have different natures altogether. I mean, the caterpillar, yes, enslaved by the worm, eating the worm's food, carrying the worm's name, worshiping the great worm god. One day the caterpillar is to build a cocoon. One day the caterpillar is to sprout wings. One day the caterpillar is to become a butterfly and fly off into the wilderness and suck up the nectar of the flower. Worms don't have that in their future. But because you've been enslaved by the worm, don't play with me. You go to the worm's educational established system. From the time you come out of your mother's womb, they have you there. From SpongeBob to Winnie the Pooh up the line, and they just brain fog you with Christopher Columbus and John Hawkins and Davy Crockett and a heap of killers. And you can't even mention the name of your true heroes. You slip in a little Martin Luther King and a little Nelson Mandela and keep it at that and no more. So by the time you are an adult as such, you're well conformed to the way of the enslaver. So there's no surprise why you want to blush your face still. There's no surprise why you need your hair to be long and silky and straight. Listen to what the little child said in the video When Chris Rock asks, is your hair as beautiful as the girls at school? No, their hair is like blowing in the wind, blowing in the wind. It's hurtful. It's more than the perm in the head, man. It's more than the fact that in the few decades we're going to see the dangers of that. You see that? And cellular phone and a lot of these things, you don't see the dangers now because we're just experimenting. This is an experiment stuff, We just experiment with the cellular phone and all this high radiation and Wi-Fi. We're just experimenting. If you're 10 years old and 15 years old, this stuff just came on board, brother. And a lot of the detrimental creams and the bleaching cream and all of that, experiment. And they've already gone bad, especially when it comes to the bleaching cream. The experiment has already gone bad. Hatred of self, whether you like it or not. I'm encouraging you to love yourself. Know who you are the caterpillar. So when you're ready to sprout the wings now, because you're mentally enslaved and think you're a worm, you're going to want to cut off the wings. And you refuse to build your cocoon even though the feeling is there. You see, you hear me speaking? That's cocoon wanting to be built. You feel something, man. The man saying there, and the wings are coming out. But maybe because of the worm doctrine that is heavy, you're like, wow, boy, so what are my friends going to say if I just stop putting on lipstick? Because tomorrow is Purple Thursday, we're going to wear purple lipstick tomorrow. Yeah. This ain't about lipstick, This is about the mind. And I'm showing you, as Marcus Messiah Garvey has already taught us, it's all about what's going on inside. The mind. You liberate the mind of a people, you liberate the body of the people. So not because I speak like this. I don't watch people by their hair. I don't watch people by how much earrings they have in their ear. I don't judge you even by whatever color you have in your eyes. Because I've met many people that from the first view you would say, something don't look right here. And they're more conscious. Listen to me. And they're much more conscious than the people that are well shaken down. I'm telling you the truth. So, but I'm just speaking the reality of where we are as a people. You can't run from what I'm saying. This is more, the enemy understands this, The enemy understands this. So even you now, as a black man, you as a conscious man now, if I give you the black doll and the white doll, which doll will you pick? Yeah, many of us would pick let me hold that. I'm going to take myself out of that one for sure. Sometimes you can generalize yourself, just for conversation's sake. But many ones will pick the white dog. Come on. And that's exactly what we do. We're too conscious and we know the truth. But for some reason, the consciousness stops at us. We don't even pass it on to our spouse and our children. You know what I mean? You're alone eating conscious. You're alone watching the conscious stuff. You're alone reading the conscious books. And you make out you are okay with. You actually encourage the very same black woman to do that damage to her hair, to wear these top high heels that is damaging the spine. Her vertebral column is being ruptured because of the high heels that she is wearing. This is deep, deep science. This is why even as a man and as man, that's how you govern. You ain't trying to change nobody. I'm not telling you, hey, hold on, you know. I'm not telling you to go and run up on your woman and try to say, hey, you better stop wearing them high heels, because I know how some of you think. Take your time. Take your time. You gotta check yourself first too. Before you try to change anybody, you gotta check yourself and change yourself first. And then when you change yourself, believe me, you don't have to try to change nobody else. The change in yourself will be of a worthy example, and they will conform if they are to conform. So take your time. But I'm just showing you there's danger in wearing these high heels. So let us not hate ourselves, brothers and sisters. Let us return to our natural self. Let us return to the connection with the ether. You're burning your hair. It's not for style. And you're going to dye it red and dye it purple and dye, you know. Dye mean you kill. Dye it, you know. You kill it. All sort of colors and this and that. You're destroying the connection with the ether. And then you're going to cut off most of it and then sew in somebody's hair that you don't know where it's coming from. And that's another part of the video we want to get into now. We're going to seal up with this part, where Chris Rock now, I think he went all the way to India, and he saw where the people are cutting their hair off. Cutting their hair off in a religious ceremony. And people come and bag these hair and carry it to the factory and clean it out and set it up and send it over here, for us to, well, not us, but for our people to put in their hair. You hear? It may sound simple to you, but some of you talk about you don't deal with voodoo, you don't deal with witchcraft, you don't deal with the Buddha. Don't play around with me, because in the church, you got the best weaves. You got the best wigs. You got the best braids. All the pretty stuff in them big churches, eh? And you don't deal with no hocus pocus. But them same hair that you have in your head, they were sacrificed to cows, and sacrificed to the Buddha, and sacrificed to Vishnu and Shiva, and all the voodoo characters that you don't dig. I'm just using the term voodoo. Don't feel no way. I'm talking to my people. We gotta be real. Why you stringing hair in your head? What kind of thing is this? What kind of science is this? No disrespect. I gotta keep saying so, because this has become our culture, and people will be offended by this conversation. Just be like who is this? Who's he? He ain't come and talk about my hair and all of them kind of foolishness. Some of the hair that you have in your head came from men. You have men's hair. Some of them Indian men that grow their hair long, they go and sacrifice too. You weird men here. I mean, come on. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So I can see the beauty of a woman, you know. Obviously. You could see the beauty of the woman. But for me personally, I guess it's the way I've trained myself. Believe me. I am not taken into any faults. You see them faults thing there. I know that's not you. That ain't you. You can go and home and sew that out or take it out with a scissor. That's not you. And wash it, and I see people hang their weave on the line. That's not you. Them eyelashes, that's not you. Come on. Black doll, white doll, we don't want no doll. That's not you. So there's a science here, that's all I'm saying. And you're damaging yourself. That's another thing. In a few decades, as I said, we're going to see the danger, the results of the danger of the chemicals of the hair. Okay, we're going to take a next look here at this part here of the video from Chris Rock. I hope everyone is having a wonderful time, just sipping on a copy of myself. This, of course, we definitely encouraging everyone to tune into Radio Anu, radioanu.com. Of course, talking about the international flavor, the universal spice. And we definitely invite all our ardent listeners to Radio Anu to become active with Radio Anu and become contributors to the upkeep of Radio Anu, which is very necessary and very important. So you could definitely send us your donations. Of course, the information is always there for you of how you can contact us and make your contribution towards the upkeep of Radio Anu itself. Very vital and very important. So let's go to this next clip here, Brother Chris Rock on his documentary dealing with hair. Well, I mean, what else can I say beside what has been said there? I mean, I'm telling you. You heard the brother say that there are cases where the sun is rising where I am here today. The sun is coming up on a blessed, wonderful morning here. You heard the brother say clearly there that children, you catch them sleeping and they shave their hair and brothers come and sell it for money. You saw the clip of the little baby girl crying there in the temple, shaving off her hair. I mean, I know many of us, we're not even concerned about that sort of psychological science. We just get a good strand of hair or whatever you call it, a good rock of weave, whatever you call it, and we're ready for, the party. We're ready for the next fete. We're ready for the block jam. We're just ready for carnival. We're just ready to go. And it's, if it's that crimpy kind of weave with the purple and the this and that, all the better. Blonde, and one day we're blonde, and next day we have this little white stuff and the black and all of that stuff, just style and fashion and all of that. Okay, good. By nature, you are a fashion goddess, man. By nature. So that is what the enemy does. The enemy manipulates that natural frequency in you so you could show his perverted sick state to the world. Come on. Maybe you don't understand. The killer that dresses you, the demon that designed all that you are portrayed to the world, is the same enslaver who has no love for you, no matter what you say, have no love for you, and desires to see you darling up yourself to the world, portraying yourself outside of the ancient order that was created for all man and woman by the Almighty I. Yeah. So as simple as the hair thing goes now, it is war against the black man and the black woman. Look at all the artists from back in the day, as Chris Rock was portraying them. The Prince, the Ray Charles, the Nat King Cole, the James Brown, the Little Richard, come on, the Michael Jackson, you could go on and on and on, and they have a perm or something Jerry curl, but the majority of them, they came fully perm. Them fellas perm. Them fellas slicked down and came perm. Even a lot of the leaders that have been accepted, coming through the days of the from the time of civil rights even up until now, perm. So it's a very mystic science, You have to understand it, and as I said, to me, it is more than just the dangers of the chemicals. It is the dangers of the chemicals of the mind, wanting to be like your oppressor, not happy with who you were created to be. not happy with the flesh that the Almighty put you in. Come on, you're bleaching yourself. You can't tell me you're happy with your dark skin. You're straightening your hair. You can't tell me you're happy with your nappy hair. You call it bad hair. You call the straight wavy stuff good hair. So obviously something is psychologically wrong. As I told you, that the silkworm that creates the beautiful silk is not a worm. It's a caterpillar, but they just call it the silkworm. And this is what I'm showing us as a people. We are the great caterpillar that is carrying the worm mentality, not knowing what greatness is within us. And even the greatness that we have exhibited to the earth, the worm is getting the credit. Yeah, even for the silk. Jah Rastafari. Yeah, my brothers and sisters. So, I mean, come on. Stop damaging your hair. Let's just put it straight. You should stop damaging your hair. Because in a few years, you may be bald altogether. Yeah? Even the braids and all of that damaging the hair in a few years. And even those saloon locks, where you're twisting at the root, you're damaging the hair too. Yeah? So definitely one should, if you love yourself, that's your scalp you're dealing with. You would definitely get off of all those chemicals, that you put in your hair and just go natural. Let's leave it at that. Selassie, Jah Rastafari. So as I said today now at the recording of this video being the 4th day of February 2018, we're officially into what they call Black History Month. And of course, for those who may not know, let me just give you a quick rundown. Every year, this is being the 4th year, every year at this time, Black History Month, we have a specific essay competition for the children in the nation of Antigua and Barbuda. And this essay competition specifically is dealing directly with their African heritage and their history. Let me just give a quick rundown. The reason why we created this essay competition, basically, it was, as I said, about 4 years ago, having a discussion with a pastor who had a retreat. He, was giving me an explanation of a young girl that came to his retreat. And she was a former member of a gang. And a young girl, a teenager. And it is said that now for her to become a member of that gang, she wasn't a member anymore at that time, but for her to be initiated into that gang, she had to have sexual intercourse with 6 brothers, young brothers, in the period of 3 minutes. So, you could just wrap your mind around that whole vibes there and try to figure out what was really taking place. And within a 3-minute period, you could say she was penetrated by 6 brothers. And that is how she became a member of that gang. So I don't know what that did really, but that just moved me to create this essay competition. As anyone that knows me know that we do works in the community. That's what we do, eh? We definitely have been involved with media for over 20 years now. The Mystic Vibration will be 21 years in a few days. 21 years celebrating the Mystic Vibration, We definitely have different, we put on extravaganzas and specific, concerts and so for the children. But we decided on hearing that listen, we're going to have an essay competition. We wanted to take a more radical approach to bringing the children of the nation to concentrate more on their African heritage. So we created this essay competition where we offered prizes ranging from laptops to tablets to digital cameras. These have been the basic gifts that we have given. And we have done it in different ways over the years. Sometimes we have different what you call different segments of age group, different groups, I should say, pardon me, the intimate, the infants, the juniors, pardon me, intermediate, and the seniors. I'm getting everything mixed up there. So you have the different sectors, different groups, age groups of the children, and basically the essay has the title all around. We began by what does African history mean to you, but in the last few years we have converted it to what does African heritage slash history mean to you, and we've always kept it basic on what the children, depending on the age group, that depends on the amount of words that they would have to, put in on the essay. And depending on how the sponsorships that we will receive, we would have first prize, second prize, third prize for one group, for let's say the junior group, and the intermediary group, we would have first prize, second prize, third prize, and at the seniors, we have first prize, third prize, second prize, and basically, yes, and that's it. So really, what that would do now, that would encourage the children now. What does African history mean to me? Well, it doesn't mean a thing to me, really, but I would not mind getting that tablet. I would not mind getting that laptop. I would not mind getting whatever, So whatever the case is, they would go forward to research their African heritage, even if it's just to type in African history. Click, that's a start. You'd be surprised, that's a start. Because you see, the way I look at it, we are coming from an ancient history. As Frantz Fanon said, in the ancient kingdom of Benin, under the voodoo tradition, this is Frantz Fanon in The Wretched of the Earth, clearly shows us that even in such a kingdom, when a man was to look on his brother's wife in a way that was not up to standard, he, without anyone judging him, would take a gift and bring it to the family of the individual that he has defiled, offering forgiveness. That's the sort of moral conduct that we had, even from the destruction of the black civilization by Brother Chancellor Williams. We already learned that we are coming from a people that in some of our ancient kingdoms we had no word for prison, we had no word for rape, we had no word for homosexual and old people's home and all of these different things. Now, when you can imprint in the mind of a child the comprehension of the ancient past, the ancient tradition, and the ancient heritage and history, again, this is the caterpillar learning of themselves. This is the caterpillar learning and understanding, well, I'm not a worm. This stuff doesn't apply to me. Yeah, this is their stuff. No disrespect to the worm, but this is the worm stuff. The worm is the one that has this in their history. Whatever it may be, homosexuality, whatever it may be, this is their stuff. And then you can differentiate yourself. You can be proud of yourself. You could honor yourself. Because as Marcus Messiah Garvey says, a people without knowledge of herself is like a tree without a root, and you know what a tree without the root is. And the root itself is what gives you the minerals and all the substance that is needed to continue to grow and blossom and bear fruit. So we don't know ourselves, we've lost our roots. That's why even the locks is referred to as your roots. So this is very deep, and the science, goes on and on and on and on. So basically, that's the reason why we have the essay competition. And we do it every year. And what we did this year, we decided to carry it international and ask for the assistance of those who understand the work that we are putting out as far as this essay competition. I would clearly say, and I would always say, it is not something because of the society that we live in here now, where I'm in Antigua and Barbuda right now. Even when it comes down to the crime and the violence and a lot of incest take place around here, a lot of using a lot of things, man. Suicide, so many different things that are happening in this land. You know, we're, as you know, we are advocates for this. We frequent the media and news items and press conferences. So we always let the society understand that if you're not dealing with education, if you're not, again, teaching the children who they are, even putting African history and heritage into the schools, it is not going to work. So of course, obviously, this is not something that is taken that seriously. So this is why we create, as I said, even programs like this, the essay competition, you know, to encourage the children to come, learn of your African self and your African heritage. It's nothing, it's not sponsored by no one. It is sponsored by me. I'm not afraid or ashamed to say that. Yes, a few people may come up and give a little thing when it comes around, but it is nothing in comparison to the budget that we have. You know, the budget, it fluctuates, you know, depending on the year. You know, whether it's a $10,000 budget, 5,000. Remember, we have banquet. You know, we give invitations and everything when the time comes along. In fact, this is an invitation of a previous year. You see there? It's an invitation of for the prize giving ceremony. I think this is about 2 years ago, or it wasn't previous year, but about 2 years ago. Yes, the second annual, see there, Honorable Priest Isaac prize giving essay competition. So this is what we do, you know, and this is why we've been asking for those of you who understand the science of the work that we're doing, that we would appreciate if you could contribute or even play a part in the essay competition specifically for Black History Month. As I said clearly, this has nothing to do with you supporting or donating towards the Priest Isaac's YouTube channel or even Radio Anu, radioanu.com. This is directly towards the essay competition. As I said, for those who would show their heartful appreciation for that work and would contribute to the essay competition, we would let it be known to the public as we have done so far. As I said, the only two individuals that have contributed towards the essay competition is our brother Terry Nathan from Missouri, who contributed $100 and Prophet Julian from Germany, who contributed the same amount. There is no one to the production of this video here. No one else from our international family, you know, has contributed at all to the essay competition. I must say, someone put aside for that. As I said, this is not something you're contributing to I personally, you know. As I said, when you contribute, I will let the whole world know that you have contributed this amount. You understand? And not only will we make them know you're contributing that, as we go forward, as we gather our prizes together, we will bring it to the community, bring it to the channel, and let you know, well, this is what we have, and this is what it costs, and let you know as we go through, so everyone could see how we are advancing with the essay competition for the youth. Because I know it is so important. I think that it is a worthy cause for our children. So I thought that those of you who understood the importance of edifying our children would have supported it, would have donated. To be very honest, I thought that most of you, you know, even though you may not want to contribute to the works that we do in general, you may be saying, because I know how some of you think, you may be saying, oh, I ain't going to contribute to no radio. It's up to you. But I thought that most of you who are supposedly conscious would say, hey, listen, we could at least contribute to the essay competition. As the brother said clearly, when we contribute, he's going to let everybody know well, so and so contribute. Your name is going to be on the screen, just like how it's on the screen there, and everyone will know exactly what your money goes towards. I don't know how we can go wrong there. So I would like to see us step up to the plate, at least for the children's sake, man. We are in February now. You can contribute your $50. You can contribute like the other brothers your $100. You can do better than that, I'm sure. Huh? I've been asking for this before Santa Claus came in, and I already showed you. Some of you already WhatsApp me and email me making that same excuse. Say, brother, boy, I wish I would like to help you, boy, but Christmas took all the money. You have the nerve to tell me that. Imagine that. You have the nerve to tell me that. So I'm definitely looking forward to your contribution specifically. You still have time. This is the 4th of February. The competition runs until the end of February. We have many radio programs that we still have to do. And for those of you who contribute from overseas, you may not know, but even right here, when we do our news press conference and news briefing, we make even our national people know that we have people like Brother Terry Nathan and Prophet Julian all the way in Germany who's contributing, to the work that the Honorable Priest Isaac is doing. I'm very honored, my brothers, for that strength, I really appreciate it because you understand, the battle that is going on here. So even those of you overseas, man, you don't even have to contribute the finance directly. As I said, we already explained the specific type of prizes that we give, from laptops to tablets to digital cameras. We've never really given finance as a prize. We prefer to give something that can be used, for positive, and that is why we have picked these sort of prizes. So you know how to get to me. You can WhatsApp me. The number, of course, is obviously there. Area code 1268-728-3162. And of course, you could email me at priestisaac27@gmail.com. And you can even still try the blackshepherd@live.com as well. You can definitely contact me, and of course, all is well. So remember now, Radio Anu, radioanu.com. You definitely got to tune into the Mystic Vibration every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6 p.m. until. And that's the Mystic Vibration, radioanu.com. The link is right there in the description. And of course, not just at that time, you should be always in tune to radioanu.com. We have enough information that we're feeding you, the best knowledge, information, lectures, interviews, music, anything you want right there on radioanu.com. And of course, every Sabbath from Friday 6 p.m. to Saturday 6 p.m., you got to join me on Radio Anu. Every Sabbath from Friday 6 p.m. to Saturday 6 p.m., you're joining me on Radio Anu for the sabbatical sounds. What I say, every Sabbath. So make sure when it's 6 o'clock Friday, you're with me, Radio Anu. Don't be playing around. And we're keeping it. In fact, as I said, you should always be with us on Radio Anu, So definitely, my brothers and sisters, the essay competition specifically, we already have one tablet. We have already ordered it. I will give you, it's a Fire HD 8 tablet with Alexa 8 HD display, 16 GB black. But anyway, in the next come around, I'll give you a little more detail. And I hope next video that we put up, I would have some more names, of some more people that say, hey, I would like to contribute to the essay competition. You know what I mean? At least. Come on. Wow. Are we that off, man? Because I'm serious about these things, we talk a lot, too much of good works. I like what you're doing stuff. We can appreciate that. But when you're real, you put your money where your mouth is, straight up. And if we can't do that, it's problems. As I said, we're not even speaking of the work we're doing. And I'm going to be clear, by right, I'm going to be clear, by right. By right. one should show much more appreciation for the works in general that we do. Straight, I'm telling you straight, much more. Ones do not contribute to this work, and I gotta tell you straight. I mean, there were a few, and we've called their names. We ain't gonna keep calling the straight names over and over. But it's not something that ones seem to comprehend the importance of. But outside of that, the essay competition, man, this is for the children, the youths. Man, we're living in a community that is gone bad. Some of you should be saying, hey, we'd like you to come to our island and do the essay competition. We can do that too. All of that can happen. But are you willing to put your resources into it? That's all. Everything you see we do is resources we put in, you know. That's the point, you know. It's our resources for the betterment and the liberation of our people. That's just the truth. It's our resources we put into what you see us do. So are you serious enough to put your resources into it? You don't have to do what you see us doing. You can do something else, you know. But if you know you're not really doing nothing, you're supposed to be assisting what is being done. And you know that's the horn I blow all the time. Straight up, because you know I'm going to ask you all of the superstars that you say you like to hear singing boogie woogie. Yeah? But you're downloading the music from some site that has nothing to do with them. Go and buy this stuff. The DVD documentary 7. We have the original copy here, the DVD documentary 7. The master of ceremonies that goes into the divinity of Emperor Haile Selassie I, the master of ceremonies. And of course, you know, we have the biblical land of Israel looking for copy, you know. We have the biblical land of Israel and we have Anu, ancient and modern. You can order these things from us. They're there. You can order them. No donation, no contribution. Order, business. You pay me and I send you books and I send you a documentary. Even that would assist the world. So you have many ways to assist what you see being done that you appreciate so much. No excuse, none whatsoever. And to me, in reality, you should order the DVDs, order the books, still send a donation, contribute to Radio Anu, and still say, hey, what can I do for the essay competition? Then you're talking real. Give thanks. Holy Manuel Selassie, Jah Rastafari. So, you know, keep out the saloon, man. Saloon is where you get drunk, you know, man. Saloon is where you go and get drunk. Wash your hair with rosemary and some aloes and get some natural shampoo, you know. Black God reigneth supreme. King Emmanuel Selassie, Jah Rastafari. Blessed family. Oh yeah, wonderful. RadioAnu.com, and go in the description and press the link. Yeah.